Coming up, anyone who has gone through puberty has struggled with lust. What is lust? Sexual lust refers to moving from simply appreciating the physical beauty of another to imagining a sexual fantasy. Yeah, you read the title correctly. A touchy subject? Sure. But never too touchy to talk about on this show. Stay tuned. Bible 360 starts right now. Welcome to another episode of the Bible 360 podcast. I am still your host, Keyston France, and while men and women are both guilty of lust and improper sexual thoughts towards one another, men's struggle is often more challenging. It's a daily battle no matter how godly or spiritual a man may be. With that in mind, pornography is like lust on steroids. Pornography has always existed, but it wasn't until the 20th century with the introduction of magazines like Playboy and Penthouse that pornography became more pervasive in American culture. Combine that with the sexual revolution of the 60s and we see a cultural shift away from the Judeo-Christian value system towards a new morality. Over time, Hollywood followed with more sexually explicit films than TV and even advertising joined in. Today, with computers, iPads, and smartphones in the home and office, pornography has permeated every sphere of society. And where there is increased idle or downtime, porn can easily become a person's favorite way to pass the time. I mean, it's so easy. It's just a click away. And no one has to know, right? So, what's the problem with pornography? Well, over time, pornography desensitizes a man's view of women to that of a sexual object, to be used and thrown away for another. It's all about selfish, entitled pleasure. Yes, many will pay themselves with pornography after a long, hard day, but it doesn't stop there. Think about the incredible abuse towards children with the worldwide growth of millions of child sex slaves. Out of the billions of dollars spent in the pornography industry, 20% comes from child pornography. As David Platt has written, if you are joining the masses to demand an end to sex slavery but still engage in porn, you are one big hypocrite. Pornographic lust is never satisfied. There's always a desire for more. Eventually, what begins as a casual activity can turn into an inescapable addiction. If you're struggling with pornography and lust, confess it to God. Like I stated in the second episode of this podcast, there is incredible freedom in the forgiveness of Jesus Christ through the cross. Pornography is a killer in marriage and in men's relationship with women. If you're married, confess your struggle with porn to your wife or your girlfriend and ask her for forgiveness, help, and prayers. Seek God daily for the strength to resist this temptation. Secret sin exposed tends to lessen in power. If you're a teenager or single adult, find a trusted friend or safe community to hold each other accountable. Think about it. Hey, I want to say thanks again for tuning into the show. If you enjoyed it, please show me some love and go on over to YouTube and subscribe to my page, Bible 360 Outreach, and hit that bell right next to it so you know when I'm posting. You can also find the show listed in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and pretty much any other podcast directories. Until next time, I wish you a very pleasant adieu.